Yo, what's good, people? We back at it for another episode. You know what it is. What's the word with LJ Mental Podcast? I'm your host with the most, LJ. We back in here for another week. You know, man, it's this world, man. As I said in the previous episode, this world don't wait on nobody. Things always moving fast. It's crazy. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with shit sometimes. But man, oh man, things is moving. And I'm gonna get into what I'm talking about in a minute. So the word of the week is adaptability, and I'm gonna explain why in a second. Before I do, I want to talk about something else first. Then I'm gonna get into my word of the week and all that good stuff. So um, I want to talk about this versus battle last week. I didn't speak on it last week. Um, didn't get a chance to really even watch it. I saw clips of it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this real quick. Then because this doesn't relate to my word of the week, but I did want to talk about this first. The Bone Thugs and Harmony, right, versus 3 6 Mafia. I missed this one. I'm mad I missed it. I was busy, and I didn't really have time to really get a chance to rewatch it either. But I did see some clips of some of what it looked like, where it was at. So yeah, they had, because now that they got these versus battles, now this stuff is open back up. They got them basically as like live concerts now, basically, because most of these seemed like most of them was in New York at first, at the Garden, Madison Square Garden. This one was out in L.A. and Hollywood Palladium, which is a big. Anybody have never been to LA or know, it's one of the major like venues for concerts out here now. But yeah, that's where it was. Excuse me. But yeah, but yeah, man. From what I saw, it was crazy. They had the whole event, like what they had set up. I'm like, yo, what's this? They had like the yellow tape police, like, you know, somebody like when the police is blocking the street off or something, whether I don't know, somebody got shot or so it was something crazy happened, right? But yeah, they had police tape basically separating the two groups on the stage. Um, they had Fat Joe out there announcing, basically, I'm trying to play Michael Buffer, basically, like he announcing the two groups coming out. And at first, I was Bone Thugs. They all came out except for Busy Bone. He's the last one to show up. You're like, oh, there's Busy Bone. But and then 3 6 Mafia came out. It seemed like it was cool vibes at first, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Like I said, I didn't really see the whole versus battle. I didn't really get a chance to or have time. I'm kind of mad I missed it, because this is one that I did want to see, because I remember a while back, uh, Juicy J from 3 6. Uh, I remember a question was posed like, what should the next verses be? This is, what was it, last year? I think it might have been last year, something like that. And then this fool gonna say Juicy J versus Nas. Now I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. Um, that's not even fair to Juicy to do that to himself. To me, I compared it to if anybody ever seen the Super Bowl between the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. This final score was 43-8. Seattle just completely wiped them out. Um, that's what I compared it to, like Nas versus Juicy J. Not to say Juicy, because I like Juicy J. I think he's dope. I actually really like him. I think he's dope as an artist. But Nas is in a completely different league. So, yeah, that's not even fair. But yeah, but then I remember somebody also said, why not 3 6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs? This was months ago. I don't know if that started to become a thing. I didn't pay attention to it after that. I don't know if that started something Timbaland, Swizz Beats got winded at, Somebody saying that more people started saying. I only saw one person say it. I don't know. Maybe it became a thing, and I'm like, that's actually not a bad idea. But yeah, I'm like, oh, that's dope. I'll be here for that. But it happened, and what I didn't know, and man, I guess I've been out the loop. I can't pay attention to everything in hip hop. I mean, I love hip hop, but I wasn't aware of their long-standing beef. I do remember being rumors like long ago that they meant they that Bone Thugs diss 3 6 Mafia, on Notorious Thugs song with them and Biggie. Um, they don't say them by name, but I guess they reference them some shit like that. But ow, I don't know. But yeah, I know I think they called each other out a few times, and but yeah, when they get on stage, Busy Bones talking shit, and the bottles thrown. Somebody said S&D. Somebody said something. You know what? But yeah, man, it started to get a little heated up in there, and but they calmed down, and but like I said, I saw the end of it. I did see the fight. Of course, the drama gonna be everywhere. That was the biggest thing around here. And of course, people, they perpetuate the drama. I think still to this day, controversy and sex still sells. So yeah, that was the biggest thing that was out there, is the fight. But I remember I seen a little bit of the beginning, Fat Joe announcing, and I seen the end, how they squash it. I seen a couple of the songs, they playing Notorious Thugs. I seen 3 6 playing Tear the Club Up. When I really look at it, I'm like, okay, Bone Thugs got songs with Biggie. They got songs with Pac and Eazy-E. I'm like, damn. 3 6 don't got no music with none of them greats. How they gonna compete with that? But then I started to really break it down. I'm like, it's actually not. 3 6 got way, way, way more hits than Bone Thugs. I fuck with Bone Thugs, but 3 6 got way more club bangers. They got way more hits. Like, it's actually not even close. From Sipping on Scissor to Tear the Club Up to Stay Fly. I mean, the list goes on and on. Like, I don't know if they played any solo records from Juicy J. Like, I don't know, but they got way more hits. Like, it's actually not like to slob on my knob. Call on the cop, check in with me, and do your job. Like, yeah, that was my joint too. Like, they got joints. Like, it's just, man, that's a verses I thought would be good. But yeah, I still feel like, even though it's like a little over a week old now, like, well, yeah, they had it on Thursday. Yeah, I'm gonna still go back and rewatch it because I do want to see it. I just haven't had time to. But yeah, I seen the clips, and yeah, when I really look at their hits, between the two, yeah, 3 6 should win. Overall, I'm gonna go back and watch it and see what was played and all that. But as I'm really thinking about it, I think 3 6 probably was that. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and rewatch that. Now, get into the word of the week. This is, like I said earlier, adaptability. Why? For a couple reasons, right? Let me get into like I was saying, like this world. Now, I've been using words like progressive and adaptability, these different type of words lately, because like I said, the world is changing. We have to adapt. We have to continue to evolve. And I seen this whole story, right, about NFTs. Now, I've heard the name NFTs for like a couple years. I'm probably a little late on it. Actually, I first started hearing about NFTs probably like a year ago, but I didn't know what the hell it was. I was just now trying to figure out what the hell cryptocurrency was, and then the NFT things. I'm like, yo, what the hell is that? Is it crypto? Like, is it this, that? It's something different. Like, cryptocurrency is kind of more similar to like the stock market. It has a value you can measure, and you could put a certain amount in, and it goes up and down. That's not what an NFT is, which stands for non-fungible token. And that even still, that's what the abbreviation is for. That doesn't even explain what the hell it is. Um, it's basically similar, I guess, if people don't know. Some people probably do. Um, and I hope I don't do a terrible job explaining this, but I'm gonna do what I can from what I've learned, because I've been I've been doing research on this for the last like month or so, and getting into this market. But yeah, it's basically like, for example, if you take a piece of you got a piece of art. It's kind of remind me of a Jay-Z lyric on this 444 album, like how you talk about buying art for like buying it for 2 million. A couple of years later, this shit worth 8 billion. I can't wait to give this shit to my children. Trying to put people on game like how to invest, right? That's just an example. Like he buying like a piece of artwork that's worth some bread, right? And then hold on to it, and as the value increases for whatever reason, whether when you find out the past history of it, where it's been, who created it, um, now is owned by somebody that's worth a lot of bread, and that increases the value. So these NFTs, um, it's basically it's a piece of digital. It's not art or digital. Yeah, digital art, and people take buying them and flipping them. Now I know I was reading back in 2017 when crypto wallets started to become a thing. They was giving out one of the big ones now, which is crypto punks. Uh, they were giving them some out for free at the time. If you just for owning a crypto wallet. Um, some people, I don't know how many people actually got those. I have no idea, but that's something I read about. And now there's a lot of those crypto punks that are worth millions of dollars, $2-3 million, some even more, some worth six figures, some worth five. But either way, most of these crypto punks are worth. Now, what is crypto punks, right? Crypto punks is, for example, like I mentioned, is an NFT. Uh, First of all, NFT, like ones are out there, right? It's like a series of um, unique pieces, whether it's like colors, like another one is like bored apes. Uh, so the crypto punks is like a bunch of different figures, right? And I think it's a few thousand of them, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But they're similar, but they're all different. So NFT, break it down, is like a unique piece of digital art. Unique piece. It might have similar characteristics of some other, but that entire piece of what it actually is it's all unique. Um, so for example, like it might be like let's say for example, you got like a drawing of a guy that has like he has his hat to the side. I'm just using that as an example. He has his hat to the side one way, right? He might have a top hat on, and it's a black top hat. But I'm just using it as an example. And it's a drawing, right? And then the other picture might be a guy that's similar, but he might, and instead of having a top hat, he might have a fitted on, or he might have a eye patch or whatever. Now, what I've discovered that what makes these unique. Well, let me get into this, right? This is this 12-year-old girl. She made $4 million like this year off her NFT series, which has over 3,300 pieces of digital art. I don't know if she created all of them, but I think she did. Called Long Neck Ladies. It's a series of women drawings with very long necks. Very interesting. I thought it was an interesting idea when I really looked at it. And you can go see a bunch of these different NFTs. I'm trying to put people on game. Just listen. trying to put people on game. So some of y'all already on game, but on OpenSea.com, I believe. If you look it up, you can search long neck ladies. You can search the bored apes. You can search crypto punks. All those are on OpenSea, along with many others. That's just one form of area where you can get NFTs. There's other areas too, but yeah, this long neck lady series. You look it up. I'm not sure when they were created, but now I know a lot of them are worth a lot of money. Um, yeah, this NFT game ain't no joke. This is just wild, and there's ways out there you can make your own NFTs. Um, but yeah, this NFT game. Like I said, as soon as I figure out like this crypto game, like this, and keep hearing NFT. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go look this up and see what this actually is. I actually sat down and took the time to actually like research and study like what this actually is, because I kept hearing people talk about it, but I didn't know what it actually was. Um, I'm like, I hear crypto and like, NFTs, right? I'm like, I hear the name, but what is that? But yeah, it's and now they got for example, like what gives them value. Um, I'm not some of them it's hard to determine like what gives them value, but I know, for example, I know Disney has some coming out as well. I seen something with the Simpsons, has like a gold, looks like almost like a trophy, with Homer Simpson, and I seen something like that, and I know I seen some with some comic book characters. So a big brand, obviously like Disney, dropped some NFTs. Obviously, gonna be that gives value alone just from the name alone, and also what gives some value is like what is it showing anything iconic, probably from, like, for example, like a mentioned something from a certain episode, or for a comic, if a comic book character, like, is it a particular, um let's say for example Spider-Man, right? If he has a particular suit on, if it's like from a certain comic book issue, a piece of art, like it's certain. I'm just trying to give people like, okay, what gives something value, right? And with these digital pieces of art, it's crazy. Um, and I know even a hip hop game, right? The board ape NFT I mentioned. I know this. Who was it? Oh yeah, it was Lil Baby, right? I seen Lil Baby as NFT. I think it's on his Twitter page. If you go look at his Twitter, um, his pictures of Bored Ape NFT. That's one that he owns right now. Worth six figures. I think it's 130K worth. Um, and it's probably gonna increase in value because who he is. Major player in the hip hop game right now. One of the major heavy hitters right now. Um, who knows? Over time, it's gonna increase in value. So is it similar? It seems like with these NFTs, just like how like in the old school days, right? Like you go to an art exhibit. I'm just using this as an example. You got these pieces like one of the famous ones, right? The Mona Lisa. Um, Obviously, I guess what you call if you knew, like, if you ever knew like what the original or Mona Lisa was, you know how much money that would actually be worth, which was made centuries ago. Um, and for whatever reason, this piece of artwork stood out among so many others uh, pieces of artwork. Uh, and that's something that's tangible, right? That's something that's you can physically hold, like, or physically see, like in an art exhibit. Obviously, they don't let you touch stuff in an art exhibit, but if you actually could, like, it's physically there, you can see it, or you can physically hold it. With this NFTs is something that's digital, which is damn near everything, like similar to cryptocurrencies, digital currency. Um, yeah, this NFT game ain't no joke, man. This NFT game ain't no joke. Ain't going nowhere. It's only getting bigger. Some stuff is a lot of people reach because of so much money now. Um, there's certain stuff you just might want to get because it's not all of them are worth. Not all of them cost a lot right now. I've seen stuff for like $100, $200. Not everything's gonna hit value, but you never know. Like you spend like $100 on one or a couple of them, and who knows? You just hold on to it, and over time it might be worth some bread. That's another way of investing, and I'm big on this investment thing now. Um, I said before years ago I wanted to invest in the stock market, but I never knew how. Um, I just started finally like, okay, this is something I really want to do. Plus, I learned from some people like that I knew like to really get into investing. So yeah, I encourage you to go do your research. Go do whatever you can. Anybody, even people I know, right, that I'm trying to get people to invest. Like, don't just take my word for it. Do your own research so you know. Don't just blindly put your money into something. Like I'm not gonna do that. Or whatever it is. Like anybody who's been investing, they will tell you. Before you invest in something, don't take. I don't care if it's Warren Buffett. I believe Warren Buffett will tell you do your own research. Um, before you, and he's talking about that. Do your own research. Regardless of what they say. Because you don't want to invest in something that you don't know about or don't understand, or something that you're not even into. Also, um, that's something that is talked about in this book that Warren Buffett actually recommends, The Intelligent Investor. That's something that's talked about. Don't invest in things that you don't understand or not really into. Like, this is why it's important to do your own research on what stuff actually is. And it's not that hard, especially with Google. Google is your friend. It's so much easier to gather information now than it was like years ago. Like that's another way of adaptability. Like you can just you want to know something, you can look it up. So now there's certain things where you do need to physically ask somebody if they're knowledgeable about something. I think there are certain instances where you need to ask like physically, like, hey, how you do this? But yeah, for the majority of things you can go to Google. Um, yeah, the information is out there. Um, some stuff you're not aware of and need to learn from people. But yeah, I'm just trying to put the info out there how to adapt, and you know what I'm saying? Because we need to be educated in power, and this is one just on a path to be financially free because um, things is getting more and more expensive. Gas prices is ridiculous right now. The cost of everything going up. Even a small ass bag of chips, right, is like a dollar. I remember even like what 5, 10 years ago when stuff was like a quarter. Like it's crazy. It costs everything going up. It's wild. Like it's crazy. All right. Before I get up out there, there's something I wanted to talk about that I thought was real interesting. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. Then I'm gonna get up out of here. Uh, Now, somebody mentioned a few days ago about Degeneration Gaps. Y'all know about Generation Gaps and how we see things differently, old school versus new school. But be more specific, break it down a little bit. Um, Somebody mentioned like the years if you were born between 1985 and 1995. That's the most unique generation, at least in the past, like what, 100 years, I guess you could so to speak. That's not exactly how they said it, but from 85 to 95, it's one of the most unique generations ever because of what we've seen. Now, I thought that was interesting because I was born in 88, so, and I kind of heard something like that before because you got the generation before us, right? Our mothers, grandmothers, uh, they about not all of them, but mostly about tradition, right? And doing certain things a certain way about how we worked. They believe in working harder. I work 2 to 3 jobs, or 2 3 hours of sleep, whatever. The structure of the household, like how things be done or whatever like that. And the generation after that, um, believe in working smarter, um, getting paid but working smarter. Not necessarily working less, I guess, but it's finding a different way to navigate the world. Um, and then it's not to say the younger generation don't work hard. They're just using their mind to, hey man, I could do this without having to do all this extra shit. So, but now the '80s baby, I think to me, I think the '80s baby specifically. I don't know what the cutoff point would be. But I think '80s babies specifically are the most unique. Whether you want to say 1980, 1989, whatever. I think we're the most unique, one of the most unique because how we've seen both. We kind of understand both sides of like the old school and new school. Like we right in the middle, and we still like millennials. Um, we understand the old school structure of tradition. But we also understand like we're not that, but we also understand like the new school. Like, and plus we seen the world before social media even existed. Um, before like everybody had a cell phone. Like we saw the world, like what it was like where there's kids playing. I don't see kids playing outside. And obviously, COVID kind of changed things up. But even before COVID, I don't really see kids playing outside no more. I used to see that all the time coming up. Like, and now obviously you got online gaming. Obviously like eight, seven, maybe even say it's late '70s, but I think specifically '80s babies. We was like one of the first generations too. Like when at home video game consoles was in the household. Like we was like kind of a first generation of that because you had this Super Nintendo, you had Sega coming up, Atari, all that good stuff. Um, so yeah, it's just we seen like a mixture of everything, like from the beepers to big ass like brick cell phones to the little phones we got in our pocket now. Like we seen all that. Like we seen before social media, but we young enough to understand how to navigate through this new digital world. Like it's crazy. Like it's in the old school for the most part. Like they do things a certain way. They not and you know that old saying like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, so to speak. Not to call everybody that, but and trying to define everybody, so they call them baby boomers to millennials, whatever. But I think yeah, I don't know if I want to say 85 to 95 babies are the most unique. I think specifically 80s babies. Me, I was born in '88, like I said, but I think I just thought that was real interesting, and we understand adaptability. I think more than a lot of generations, because like I said, we understand both sides, the old school and the new school. Now, for a lot of different ways as far as how we navigate the world. There's certain things I don't even like doing online. Like I don't believe in online dating, or I mean I don't know. I might try it one day. I don't know. I've never tried it before. I don't believe in that. But there's certain things. I mean, I was you do meetings like online with Zoom and Skype and all that. I get all that. That's cool. But there's certain things I believe in doing in person. I don't mind doing things online like I'm doing now. Just with this, but yeah, I think we understand adaptability, and that's the theme. Word of the week: adaptability. You gotta be able to adapt in this world. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be it for me. As always, stay safe, stay sucker free. I'm out.